Hi everyone, welcome back to round 2 of skincare mistakes you might be making or may have been guilty of making in the past. There is a part 1 to this video, so go and check that out up here if you haven't seen it already. But today we're going to be talking about 4 more mistakes that you might be making. I know I'm guilty of 1, maybe 2 of these mistakes, so I'd love to hear in the comments if you've made them too. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button and keep watching. Mistake number 1 in this part 2 video is not washing your pillowcase regularly enough. I know that a lot of people will be guilty of this one. At a minimum, you should be changing your pillowcase once a week. And if you are experiencing concerns like persistent acne or breakouts, you've got congestion, you're experiencing irritation, I would say change it every couple of days, or it may be worth getting a new pillow if you've had that pillow for a while. A lot of bacteria builds up in our pillows, obviously, so it's important to change over that pillowcase really regularly so that none of that builds up on your skin. The other thing that's really important to clean regularly is your phone. So grab some alcohol swabs from the chemist, do a once over front and back of your phone every couple of days. That'll help reduce bacteria buildup that can transfer to your face when you're on the phone, which is really gross. A lot of people take their phone to the toilet, so make sure you're cleaning that regularly as well because a lot of bacteria can build up on there too. The next mistake is only using stripping ingredients to treat breakouts. Now this is where you run into even bigger issues. So you might have thought your breakouts were the worst of it. Once you disrupt your skin's barrier with all those stripping ingredients, it's going to take longer for those breakouts to heal. They're going to be more persistent. You're going to experience things like inflammation, redness, flaking as well. You need to also be using barrier supporting ingredients like niacinamide and panthenol. Just using that stripping stuff thinking, oh, my skin's oily, my skin's congested, it's not doing you any favors. Make sure you have a well-rounded routine that can address those concerns, but is also supporting your skin's barrier as well, which is what is going to keep the skin healthy, as well as having a product with salicylic acid in it if your concern is around congestion or breakouts. And on that note, a lot of people overdo it on the spot treatments. Now, I always get asked, what spot treatment do you recommend? I don't actually recommend them because I don't trust anyone. You give them a spot treatment and they use it once and then they get addicted to it and they come back every couple of minutes to reapply. A spot treatment is very concentrated and it has the potential to really stuff up the barrier where you've applied it. So that can then lead to that area flaking, becoming really sensitive, taking heaps longer to heal. So it can end up having the opposite effect to what you wanted the spot treatment to have. So it is really important if you're using a spot treatment, use it very sparingly and don't go overboard with it. Apply it once, give it 24 hours to see what happens. It's not going to work miracles in an hour. That's not how skincare works. So be patient with spot treatments and make sure that you aren't overusing them because that's not going to do your skin any favors. Now to our third mistake, not washing your brushes regularly enough or thoroughly enough. My brushes are definitely due for a clean right now. I haven't cleaned them in, I don't even know when the last time was that I cleaned them, which is really bad. But a lot of dust and bacteria builds up in your brushes, especially if you've got them out in an open space and not in a cupboard. They will gather a lot of dust, a lot of bacteria builds up on them from using them regularly. I probably wear makeup once or twice a week, so I wouldn't need to clean my makeup brushes as often as someone who is using them daily. Even so, I'd probably want to clean my brushes every 3 weeks at a minimum. And then in between those deep cleans, using like an alcohol spray to just disinfect those brushes between those deep cleans. It's a really good idea, especially for the health of your skin, to keep those makeup brushes as clean as possible. And it's important to note as well, makeup sponges, very, very hard to clean efficiently. So I would recommend replacing them every 3 months. They're just really hard to clean and it's almost impossible to squeeze all of the product out of them. And because they're often used damp, they tend to harbor more bacteria. So I would chuck them after 3 months and just wash them in between that period as well. Now to our last mistake of the day, it's neglecting your neck and chest or your décolletage. I also find that people neglect their hands as well. So I would recommend if you're on the bandwagon of wearing SPF on your face daily, take it down your neck and chest and put it on the backs of your hands too. Those are the areas that are often the most exposed. So if the rest of your body is covered, that's all good, but just pop some SPF on those areas. I see this all the time where people have taken really good care of their skin on their face, but then towards their neck and chest, you start to see a lot of sun damage. So you can bring down ingredients like your vitamin C's, vitamin A, vitamin B. There's lots of different ingredients that you can use on those areas as well, just by bringing it down your neck and onto your chest. And I also like to use AHAs there because I tend to get a few little breakouts on my chest too. So try and keep those at bay by speeding up cell turnover, and that can also help to reduce signs of sun damage, which luckily I don't have at this stage because I've been pretty sun smart. But a lot of people do forget the décolletage area, so just make sure you're taking as good of care of that as you would of your face. That was a hard thing to say. Did I even say that right? Is that English? Anyway, that is all for today. If you have any more skincare mistakes or myths that you want busted, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to see how many of you are making these mistakes. That last one is definitely me. I wear fake tan regularly and I don't always bring the products down to my neck and chest, which I should get better at. But I'd love to hear if you're guilty of any of these mistakes, and I'll see you next time.